Hi, this is Tim from UK Home Gym, your home for UK specific independent home gym tips and advice. And today I'm going to talk to you about 3 items that I think are completely indispensable for home gym owners. And I'd say they're so indispensable that even commercial gym goers should have these because not all commercial gyms have them, despite the fact that they're super cheap. They're super inexpensive. They're super easy to buy. I think that you can get most of these from no specific brand on Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, any of these e-commerce platforms, or maybe a high street shop, maybe somewhere like Decathlon or something like that will sell something similar to these. What are these 3 items, and why are they so important? Um, I'd say let's go through them one by one. So the first one is a pair of these straps. Okay, now you can have different kinds of lifting straps. I think that they're the cheapest ones you can buy are probably the fabric ones that are like a long thing that you have a part that goes around your wrist, and then there's a long sort of, I don't know what to call it, but there's a long sort of tail type thing that you then sort of wrap around the bar, grab the other side of it, and then use it to to help you pull. I prefer these types. They have like a part that goes around the wrist here, and then it's sort of counterintuitive in that you'd have thought that you use it like as a hook like that, but actually what you do is you grab the other side of it like that, with the bar inside or the cable attachment inside, and then you can row with that. I find those really, really great for a lot of different exercises. I like them for if I'm trying to row very heavy and I don't want my grip to be a limiting factor, then I will use those. Sometimes on a deadlift, I'm going very heavy on a deadlift, a weight that I've never attempted before. I'll use those. Sometimes even if I'm doing weighted pull-ups or something like that, and I don't want my grip to be the limiting factor again, I think these are really good. So, another great thing about these things is they're so portable. You know, Basically, even if I'm not at my home gym, if I'm not working out in my home gym, if I'm going to my one of my gym buddies, home gym buddies type home gym or something like that, I'll take these with me because they just they just go into a bag basically, and they don't take up any space. They're not heavy. If I'm going away on holiday and there's a gym where I'm going, I'll bring them with me, and they don't take up much space. They're not heavy. I do recommend getting this sort of very thick sort of rubber version. I know there's you can also get like a PU or a genuine leather version, but I really wouldn't go for those. I would go for this really thick rubber. You can see that it's sort of 2 layers of rubber that have been sort of I don't know, stitched together or glued together or whatever. But anyway, very, very good. This particular brand is called Bear Grip. Whatever. I think you can find these generic versions of these everywhere, and as I said, they're not expensive, and they're a great thing to have. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to recommend is a dip belt. Now, I recommend this to non-home gym owners as well as home gym owners, because it's very rare that I've been to a commercial gym and seen a dip belt there available for people to use. And it's sort of a pity because, here we go, this is what I've got as a dip belt. So you've got like a fabric part here with a bit of a wider section for the back there. And then it's like a chain that you just you can unclip, put weight plates on there, clip back on somehow or other, and then you can go ahead and do your dips with those. It's not just dips that I usually use these for. It's also for weighted pull-ups as well. This is a mirror fit one, but really you can get this from absolutely anywhere. There's all sorts of generic versions of these available, particularly on Amazon, and really I don't know if they're all made in the same factory, but it seems as so to me when I've used different models. I just think this is so great because you do get to a point with your dips, very quickly with your dips, I would say. You get to the point where you really can just start cranking them out, and you can go beyond 20 whatever dips. And I think once you can do that, with dips, you really need to start weighting them. And I think dips are such an underrated exercise, particularly when you weight them. I think it gives you a great stretch on the pecs, and also it's a great workout for your triceps and so on. So a really great exercise that you can make even better by weighting a little bit. And I think the best way to weight it, rather than using a weighted vest, is to use a dip belt, because I really like the way that, if the weight is sort of hanging below you rather than on top of you, I don't know, I feel like that weight curve or whatever, the sensation definitely feels different. So even though I do have a weighted vest, I tend not to use it for dips. And the same for pull-ups as well. I think it's great to have the weight beneath you when you're doing the weighted pull-ups. I think particularly neutral grip weighted pull-ups, that's a wonderful exercise. I really feel that quite, you know, quite a lot in my lats. And I think that's a really good thing to be able to do. Again, if you are a commercial gym goer, you can put this in your bag. It's very, very light. It doesn't take up a lot of space. And I think that it's, as I said, I don't always see this kind of thing, or in fact, I can't remember any time I've ever seen, maybe once or twice, sorry. I've seen gyms that have a dip belt. As I said, super inexpensive. Okay, and the third item that I want to recommend is a yoga mat, but not just any yoga mat. I want to recommend a very thick yoga mat. I'm not sure if you can see how thick this is, but basically as thick as possible would be my suggestion. And why I'm recommending a yoga mat is because it's fantastic to have the versatility. Because, so for instance, for me, my home gym is in my garage, right? But there are times when I want to go outside and do some exercise, and maybe the weather's nice, so I want to go and do some ab work outside or whatever. Then, maybe I'm working out on the patio or on the grass or something like that. Particularly on the patio, you really want to have something to lie on when you're doing that kind of thing outside. Maybe you're doing some stretching or some mobility work or something like that, or maybe you're doing some exercise like floor flies, or like there's some variations of the bench press that involve you sort of lying on the floor as well. And I think that having a yoga mat is really important. Now, why do I say a thick one? I've bought and I've owned these really thin ones that you can get, the super cheap ones or whatever. And I find that really, if you're doing anything that involves, like pressing your knee into the ground or something like that, that's really a nasty sensation if you are using a really thin mat, because it feels like you're pushing into like a wooden floorboard or concrete floor, or, a patio outside. It's nasty. So I find that, that the really thick ones are really good. And why I say that commercial gym users should also consider one of these is because, you go to a commercial gym and they will have the really thin ones. So, if you're going to a commercial gym to do, I don't know, a yoga class, Pilates class, whatever, they usually provide these really thin ones. And I just, I'd rather use the thick ones. Once you've used it, you don't really want to go back and use the thin one again. And the other thing is, from a hygiene perspective, I don't know, a lot of yoga exercises or Pilates exercises involve you sort of lying with your face sort of flat on the floor sometimes on a yoga mat, and that somebody else has used that. I don't know how you feel about that, but personally for me, I'd rather not be exposing myself to all sorts of whatever germs or dirt or whatever And I'm sure that the person who uses the gym after me doesn't want to be exposed to my germs and dirt and so on. So anyway, these are my 3 recommendations. As I said, what I went for the yoga mat, I think it's between 12 and 15 millimeters in terms of thickness. That's something to add on to that as well. But anyway, yeah. So those are the 3 things. There are loads of other really inexpensive, brilliant items that I think I will talk about at some stage, that you can get for your home gym, particularly for the home gym. Not really something that you'd want to take to a commercial gym, but these 3 things I think are totally inexpensive and totally indispensable. So I'm going to make a partner video to this, and it's going to be about 3 really inexpensive items that you can use to help you sleep better. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to be sure that you don't miss that. And please let me know if there are any indispensable items that you think that I've missed on my list. Anyway, please do check out our website as well. That's ukhomegym.com. And I'll see you next time on UK Home Gym.